Alright fellas, brilliant start, okay? No one expected us to pick up the result against Al Hilal. All we're going to do now is back it up here against Deportivo Guadalajara, and we should be going through to the second round. That Flamingo game won't mean much at all. Some of you guys can have a rest. Go explore Spain. I think we're in Barcelona for that game, okay? So just win here and take all the pressure off. Big payday for the club. Just please win this one, guys. Some knockout football here would be amazing. Just win. Hello everyone and welcome to episode number 133 of the New Zealand Builder Nation here on Shaun Does FM with both the All Whites and Kashmir Technical. I hope you're doing well, and coming up today it's game 2 from the 2037 FIFA Club World Cup, a win over Deportivo Guadalajara probably books our place in the second round, so looking forward to that coming up, as well as a bus trip to the Estadio Benito Villamarín in Sevilla. Then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. It is greatly appreciated. But yesterday we went to Madrid to take on Al Hilal in the first game of our first trip to the Club World Cup, so if you missed that one, I'll leave a link to it over in the top right corner. A couple of set piece goals around the hour mark did mean a big upset win for us there over Al Hilal by a scoreline of 2-1, so it does step things up quite nicely against the team who, apart from us, should be the weakest in this group. A win here, and if Flamingo can beat Al Hilal, as you probably expect them to off the back of what we did to them, that should be enough for us to make our way through to the knockouts, and it might mean that Flamingo game might have very little riding on it. Could be a good chance for us there to rest some players before maybe we take on a very big team in the second round of this competition. Also worth noting too, Chelsea aren't the defending champions. It's Arsenal. Got that wrong last time when I did bring that up. But a great start for us in yesterday's episode, and thankfully everyone's recovered quite well off the back of that win. Have a quick look at the stats again. It was a pretty well-deserved one too. Once we go over to the match stats itself, it did feel like we were the team on the front foot. Nonto got that goal just before halftime. Bit of a scrappy one. Did feel like Cifuentes could have saved it off the deflection from Arce, but thankfully Almada, a couple of corners, zoomers, put away one which came off the post from Anderson, and a few minutes later Anderson put one away, and that gave us a 2-1 win. But as I said, looking at the stats, hard to argue we did not deserve those 3 points from that game, and considering that we're about to take on a team who lost to Flamingo, albeit you would expect Flamingo to be the best team in this group, considering they've won a couple of Copa Libertadores in a row. But Deportivo Guadalajara, 3.5-star reputation. They have won a Champions League in CONCACAF, but it was a few years ago now, going back here to the trophies and down the line a little bit. There it is, and it was back in 2034, so it's been 3 years. Not too sure if they've been doing too well since then in Liga MX, considering that's not a playable league for me in this save. Don't even have it turned on to view only, seeing as when the save started, no New Zealanders were over in that competition these days. Lucas Kelly-Heald is playing for Monterrey, one of our close to starting All Whites. I think he's just in behind Bindon and Curtis in our regular starting 11 there for the All Whites. But if we can beat Al Hilal, and I don't think their team looks as strong as Al Hilal. It's completely made up of Mexican players. Only a few of them do have caps for the national team. To be fair, the national team actually a lot stronger than I said they were the other day. They're all the way up 7th in the world with a youth rating just above ours. But still, this looked like the weaker team, the team that we could actually target in this group. Back when I was thinking that we would probably get beaten by Al Hilal as well as Flamingo. But a win here, based on our first day performance, you'd like to think we can pick that up and make our way through to the knockouts with a game in hand, provided that Flamingo do the job you'd expect them to do against Al Hilal, considering that we did beat them. But thankfully, as I said, everyone's recovered nicely from that first game, so we can pretty much put out the exact same team for this one and hopefully pick up the result, which should mean we can give some of those guys who need a rest one before we make our way into the second round, which would be oh so good for the club, because hopefully it would help out the finances, which are still in a bad way. Before we get stuck into our second game here at the Club World Cup against Deportivo Guadalajara, we have made the trip to Sevilla, so it's time for another bus trip. This time we go to the home of Real Betis in the Estadio Benito Villamarín. And to be fair, this bus trip could be quite a quick one. We've made our way to Sevilla and I found a hotel which does look quite nice near the ground. It's about 400 metres away. There you can see the hotel here. that's the ground itself. But so we're going to stay here at the Silken Al Andalus Palace. It does sound very royal, somewhere that we can stay now that we're a big team, having knocked off one from Saudi Arabia with all the money that they have and their big name players like Pedri, Vardiol, Zabani, as well as Rooney Bargi. Not good enough for us here at Kashmir Tech because we bet them. But here's the hotel we're going to stay at. We'll go to the website. It does look pretty nice. There's a ridiculously nice swimming pool there. It looks fancy as feck. It just looks wonderful. There's no gym here, but to be fair, don't think we need a gym off back of that first game. We'll just give our guys a rest to make sure they'll be available for each game at this tournament. It does look quite fancy. I don't think anyone's going to be using the book room unless they've got some football tactic books in there or something, but it does look like a very nice place to stay here in Sevilla. So this is where we are going to go. It's very close to the ground, as you saw before. There's a pizza place nearby, just in case the food inside it is not too good. But to be fair, that does look pretty decent there in that picture. Bit of wine, bit of food, happy days after. Hopefully we book our spot into the second round here of this Club World Cup, which would be pretty ridiculous considering we're little old Kashmir Technical from Christchurch in New Zealand. But there's more photos of the place. It looks really, really nice. There was another place nearby with a gym, but this one just looked really good. They've got a proper cocktail bar. It looks lovely. We're going to stay here. We'll just go down and see if anything else pops up nearby on this website or anything interesting. And it doesn't, so let's make our way over now to the route that we're going to be taking. It's a 2-minute drive and 550 meters, 400 meters might be in a straight line. But it's going to be a pretty quick bus trip, this one, as we make our way to the home of Real Betis. Let's start here just outside of the hotel, and it shouldn't take us too long here to make our way to the ground. So I think that's it over there on that right hand side, because on the left there ain't a heck of a lot. But to be fair, it was a palace, so maybe it doesn't look like a usual hotel that you are staying at. But at the moment I just need to get this map to work, because currently I can't actually see which way I'm supposed to be going to make my way to the ground. And if we go this way, this is the way that we want to go, driving against the traffic. So we're going to go down here, Gansi Plana, before we make ourselves a bit of a right hand turn, and we'll pretty much start to make our way immediately towards the ground here in Sevilla, the home of Real Betis. Let's see if something interesting does pop up over on the left hand side. Looks like it might be a school as well as the playing fields for that school. But we'll just make our way here down this road of Holanda in Sevilla, and shortly we'll make our way to the ground, because there it is right there with the green steps of Real Betis. It does look like a very decent sized stadium, obviously another one that's used regularly in La Liga. Probably not quite as big as the Bernabeu we were at yesterday in Madrid. To be fair, tomorrow we're off to the Camp Nou to take on Flamengo. That's another pretty big ground, but you can see the stadium there. It's enormous. There must be the gate that we need to go through to make our way into the ground. Let's just try and have a look at a bit of the outside. It does look like, though, back when this picture was taken in 2017, it was under construction, much like most of the pictures yesterday that we did get from the Bernabeu. Apparently, according to Google Maps, though, I should go this way. So let's just see if anything interesting does pop up from this view. And now we've gone forward a few years and there's no construction, and it is a very impressive looking stadium here in Sevilla for Real Betis. To be fair, probably not the biggest team in this town. Sevilla, they've won a couple of Europa Leagues, of course. They're a pretty good team, so it's a quite nice stadium here for the team who probably aren't the biggest one in this part of Spain, but still, it's a really nice stadium, especially compared to what we usually play at the GMP in Christchurch, albeit these days we do have my arena. That might be a bit flashy, but I dare say it won't quite be this flash. Just looking at the stadium there as we make our way around it. To be fair, it looks pretty similar all the way around the outside, bit of a green bottom, and then you get the concrete stands towering above that. Let's just see where Google Maps wants to take us here to actually make our way into the stadium. A bit of a right hand turn, and there you can see, or you did see briefly, Real Betis. That is their home, and this is how you make your way down that little narrow road, and we probably want to go up that driveway and make our way into the ground. Let's see if we can sneak our way down here a little bit. Indeed we can. There must be the club shop. Kappa was sponsoring these guys back in 2022, or at least providing the kit. Not too sure if that is still the case, but there is the Estadio Benito Villamarín, where we're going to play this game here against Deportivo Guadalajara. Big one as well, because as I said, if we pick up a win, we should book our spot in the second round of this tournament with a game to go in the group, which would be very handy indeed, considering I thought we'd struggle to just get anything from this tournament. Might have just been a waste of time. Thankfully, that hasn't quite been the case so far, but let's just try and find a view now from the inside of the ground itself. And I'm not sure what was going on the day that these photos were taken, because there's absolutely no crowd there. Hopefully that's not the case for this one, because that would be a bit disappointing for a Club World Cup. It's a very, very quiet day here at the Estadio Benito Villamarín back in 2017, but there's a good view of the stadium itself. It's freaking massive, and it does look very impressive. Lovely turf as well. It's in good condition for us here at Kashmir Tech. So there's a stadium we're playing our second game at here at the Club World Cup. Not the longest bus trip, thanks to finding a nice hotel quite close to the stadium, but hopefully we can pick up a win here over Deportivo Guadalajara from Mexico and book our spot in the second round. And here are the team sheets for the second game at the Club World Cup. They are Deportivo Guadalajara. They are going with a 4-2-3-1. No big names in their team. As I say, a couple of Mexican internationals, but mostly fringe ones. Hopefully can pick up a win after a good one against Al Hilal yesterday. And because of that, we're not changing our team at all. Let's not do anything silly. Try and keep the momentum from that win and hopefully book our spot in the second round. And just shy of the 5-minute mark, first highlight of this game. And unfortunately, it's a really good position here for a free kick to Deportivo Guadalajara in the red with the black or blue shorts. Thankfully, that one did beat Cifuentes, but it comes off the woodwork. It definitely had him beat him, but thankfully, we clear our lines. Still nil all, but a early warning shot there from the Mexicans. And again, they are on the attack, so maybe our guys just taking these guys a bit lightly. Their head's a bit big off the back of that win over Al Hilal. Now Bustos makes his way inside the box, a curving effort. Thankfully, that one also just off target. But today, we're off to a slow start. Thankfully, still nil all. And just shy of the half-hour mark, the next highlight of this game, it's another free kick here to Deportivo Guadalajara. Again, that one comes off the woodwork. I think those Cifuentes might got a touch on that one. Thankfully, just clear our lines, and then Zuma, some good work there. Try and get us here on the counter-attack. Let's see if we can get something going. It can't. There are the stats. We've eventually got a shot off in this game, but so far it's been all Deportivo Guadalajara, albeit XG-wise, we're actually getting the better chances, which you wouldn't expect considering all the highlights so far have been in favour of the Mexicans, who in this game are the home team. Maybe that helped us yesterday in our clash with Al Hilal, but again, on the attack here through a corner. We initially clear it, then De La Torre makes his way inside the box, but thankfully tight angle. That one just off target, did beat Cifuentes, but thankfully didn't need to call him into action. But that is a pretty disappointing first half, albeit that's based on the highlights we've seen, because stats-wise, we've actually got a higher XG through less shots, the same amount on target, but not doing a heck of a lot in this game so far, which is pretty disappointing off the back of that good performance against Al Hilal to start off this tournament in yesterday's episode. But to be fair, everyone out there on a decent enough rating, so we won't make any changes going in to the second half. Hopefully give these guys a bit of a rev up at half time and get some action in our favour in the second half. Still nil all. And we're just hitting the 10-minute mark here of the second half, and unfortunately a couple of players who are on some average-ish ratings at half time haven't improved, so we're going to make some changes here. Our first ones in this game, Debenham again will come off for Wilson so far. Not the best tournament for him, and same for Waleed Khalid Salcedo. He can come on. Also Chris Greenidge on a 6.5, so we'll make 3 subs here. Manny de Hotman de Villiers can come on for him. Hopefully that'll give us a bit of bench impact, and we can hopefully actually get a highlight in our favour. 35 minutes left, still nil all. And only a few minutes off the back of those subs, there is a highlight, but unfortunately looks like it might be in favour here of the Mexicans yet again, albeit good work there from Salcedo, who, to be fair, based on form, might be the best right winger at the club so far this season, albeit Khalid has been out a fair while with injury, but still he does quite well for us there to win that ball back, and thankfully we're just doing enough here to keep hold of it. So hopefully this might be a highlight that eventually does end up in our favour, and maybe we can score a goal and pinch 3 points here to make our way through to the second round. Salcedo does get in behind. Big chance for him there, but unfortunately tries to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. He makes a decent save there to tip that one over the bar. And now Zuma's down to a deep red heart, so we'll take him off here for Castro. To be fair, only going fairly on a 6.8 Arce. Can't get that header on target from the corner. That now leaves one more sub for the last half hour, and it's still nil all. And we just sneak our way into the last 20 minutes of this game. I was about to encourage, but we'll just hold off on that and see what this highlight brings. But yet again, a highlight staying in favour here of the Mexicans. But to be fair, stats-wise now, we've definitely evened things up in the second half, and XG-wise, definitely the team who should be on top in this game. Hasn't quite happened yet. A good shot there, though. Not too sure who that was from. It definitely beats Cifuentes, but thankfully comes off the woodwork. That's now a couple of times that's come to our rescue in this game, but a couple of players down to Red Hearts Almada as well as Diop. I think the safe option here is to take off Diop for Jack Honey. Just try and make sure that at the very least they don't score a goal here, the Mexicans, and we can take a point from this game, which to be fair, might still be enough to make our way through the second round, even if we lose to Flamengo in our last game of the group stages. But Almada there was on the ball, decent chance on the counter-attack, but unfortunately a bit slow at his old age these days, pre-retirement, and also absolutely knackered, so can't do anything for us. So again, the Mexicans are on the ball. You wouldn't expect us to be the team on the front foot based on what we're seeing here through the highlights, but apparently that is indeed what's been happening. So a bit of a weird one here we're watching here at the home of Ray Albertis, but thankfully this time actually get a chance to keep hold of the ball. To Hotman de Villiers just makes his way forward with some fresh legs off the bench. Big deflection there from a Deportivo Guadalajara defender, but unfortunately just takes it past that bottom right corner because it definitely tested the goalkeeper. Dove for it, couldn't reach it, but unfortunately just goes wide of the post. We nearly burgled there an own goal. Unfortunately, nothing doing from the subsequent corner. We're about to make our way into the last 10 minutes of this game. Almada trying to track back there and do some defensive work. He's knackered, but still putting in a decent shift as we make our way into the last 10 minutes of this game. Can't really go more attacking like we used to do, because that's just how we're starting now here at Kashmir Tech. But to be fair, it's doing a pretty good job at this Club World Cup. A late free kick, Almada looking for the top right corner. It goes just wide and actually got tipped wide by their goalkeeper. Almada nearly paying dividends for us again there, but unfortunately that's a big save from the goalkeeper, albeit do think that one might have been hitting the post anyway. But still, big chance for us late from a free kick, now a corner. And he puts this one to the mix. Arce with a header, but unfortunately the goalkeeper there gets up and it's straight at him. A pretty routine save, so a couple of chances for us there late to grab a goal and pinch 3 points from that game. Based on highlights, you felt like Deportivo Guadalajara were the team who were on the front foot, but stats say actually we were the team that probably could have got the win from that game. So I think a draw is a fair result. It's a bit disappointing off the back of our win yesterday over Al Hilal. Tim Anderson having a brilliant tournament so far, though. He's got man of the match today, and also a big hand in those 2 goals that we did score in yesterday's episode as well. But a 0-0 draw, which is a bit disappointing, but still we're in a pretty decent position on 4 points off the back of our first 2 games played. We'll just go forward and see what the result is from the Flamengo Al Hilal game and see what we need to do on the final day in this group to make our way through to the second round. So a bit of a missed opportunity for us there to make our way through to the second round with a game in hand here at this Club World Cup, albeit to be fair, hasn't done anything to the group overall, and that's because the other game later that day in our group was a 1-1 draw between Flamengo and Al Hilal. They grabbed one back there late to Flamengo, otherwise that would have made things really tricky going into that final match day. If Al Hilal won, they could have then beaten Deportivo Guadalajara, and we might have been in trouble given that we have to take on the Copa Libertadores winners a couple of seasons in a row in Flamengo, but thankfully we're still joint top just behind Flamengo on goal differential. So I think that means a draw on that final match day will be enough for us, as well a draw in the other game. I'm not too sure though what would happen if one of those 2 teams won. It might be decided on goal differential, hopefully on head-to-head record, because then as long as Al Hilal pick up the win, we'd still be going through, even if we did lose to Flamengo. Actually, we'll just check that before we have a look at the other results from all the other groups. Let's just see what the deciding factor here is in the group stage, and indeed it's goal difference, then goals scored, and discipline records. Actually, nothing involving the result between the 2 teams to sort out who would go through. We need to be better in terms of goal differential and also goals scored, so hopefully that will end up being in our favour, but really that is a blown chance for us there to make our way through to the next round, but disappointing, as I said, off back of that good result against Al Hilal in yesterday's episode. And a quick update as well on what's going on in all the other groups. In day 2 in Group A, Ajax just beat Supersport United 3-2 Chelsea. They beat Al Shabab. It does mean big games coming up on the final day. That group's still wide open, but to be fair, Chelsea, they should be in a good spot to make their way through to the knockouts. Group B, as you'd expect here, the 2 big teams from Europe already locked in, with PSG and Man City picking up big wins there over Colo Colo and Kashiwa Reysol respectively. That'll be a big game on the final day, but not too much rowing on it, so maybe chance for those 2 teams to rest some of their key players. Group C, Liverpool already threw off back of a 3-0 win over Al Ittihad, but Freiburg make their way up to second off the back of a 5-0 win over Wydad Casablanca, going down to Group D. And this one, it is River Plate on top off the back of a 2-0 win over the locals. And Athletic Club and Inter, as you'd expect, beat up on the MLS team there in the Columbus Crew 4-0, going down to Group F, of course, because we were in Group E. Barcelona and Porto, surprising draws there on the second match day. Junior FC hold Barcelona, and Toronto, they hold Porto. So that makes things a bit interesting going to that final match. Barca and Porto can still make their way through the second round if they do a gentleman's agreement and draw that game on the final match day. But Junior FC and Toronto now have a sneaky chance to make their way through into the knockouts. To be fair though, Barca probably in quite a good spot with that goal differential being so heavily in their favour. Group G, RB Leipzig 2 wins from 2 off the back of a 4-0 win over Club America, and Botafogo, they pick up a 1-0 win there over Al Ahly. So that does mean that those two teams are probably fighting for that second qualifying spot on the final day. Might be Club America in a better situation considering that RB Leipzig are taking on Botafogo. And down to Group H, and it is Real Madrid and AC Milan already guaranteed to be in the knockouts. 1-0 win there for AC Milan over ES Tunis, and 4-0 Real Madrid over Vélez of Argentina. But I think that will do it for today's episode. As I said, a bit of a missed opportunity there for us to make our way through with a game in hand. But hopefully we come back tomorrow from Barcelona, where we do a bus trip to the Camp Nou and can find a way to maybe take a point off of Flamengo just to make sure we do go through. Otherwise, going to be keeping a big eye on the goal situation from that other game. I'm pretty sure both games are the same time, and indeed they are. As long as we keep things close against Flamengo, we should be fine, but otherwise that could get quite interesting on the final day of this group. Hopefully, though, we can find a way to make our way through to the knockouts. Otherwise, that would kind of bring things down off back of that big win that we did pick up over Al Hilal. But if you enjoyed today's episode, then do make sure to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well until tomorrow for that big final day here in Group E at the Club World Cup, where we take on the multiple Copa Libertadores winners in Flamengo. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.